Okay, Leonel, so today we're going to be completing a worksheet that has to do with decoding. Do you know what decoding is? Okay, so decoding is when you read a sentence or a word and you try to take it apart by the sounds you hear. So you know how different words have different sounds?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, let's say chew. What kind of sound do you hear in chew?
EW.
But how does EW sound? Ooh, okay. That's what decoding is, okay? So let's start off with the first one. And if you don't know a word, you're going to let me know the word and we're going to write it down and we can decode it together. But I have these two post-its, and this one, this first post-it, it's going to be for the ooh, O-O. The sound of O-O, which is ooh. And this one's going to be you, like how you said chew, okay? So then if you hear one of those words and you think it goes on one of these post-its, you go ahead and write it down. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to highlight with this one, the word that you think, one of the words that you think might go in one of these post-its. So let's start off with the first sentence. What does that say?
Dad always watches the news on TV.
Okay, so out of this sentence, which word do you think would have some decoding that has to do with ooh or you?
News.
News. Okay, so go ahead and highlight news. Okay, so what sound do you hear in news? Do you hear O-O or Y-O-O? Ooh or you?
I hear ooh.
Ooh. So where would you write news on? On this one or this one?
This one.
Which is what?
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay, good job. So write news. Okay. Go ahead and try and read the second sentence. If you need help on a word, just let me know.
In his youth, Shelly's.
Do you know what youth is?
No.
Okay, youth is another word for when you're young. So youth can be explained as when you were a baby or when you were younger, like in preschool, for example. Okay? So in our family, who would you consider someone that's still in their youth?
Me or my older brother.
Is that still in their youth because they're young, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, let's finish the sentence.
Shelly's grandfather played in a jazz band.
Okay, so out of this sentence, which word do you think goes in the decoding post-its?
Youth.
Youth? Okay, so now if I write youth and you read it out, which post-it do you think it belongs to? Youth. So O-O or Y-O-O?
Y-O-O.
Good job. Youth. So you'd write youth on that post-it. Okay. Let's try one of these more difficult sentences, these longer ones. Number 6. Let's try number 6. Go ahead.
If you could have any career, what would you choose?
Okay, and if you notice, the sentence is longer, so it might be filled with more words to decode. Do you think there's more than one word to decode in this sentence or no?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and highlight the words that you think need to be decoded. Okay, so you think that you can be decoded and choose. If you could have a career, what would you choose? Okay, good job. So, first off, you, where do you think it would be placed at? Ooh or you?
You.
You. Okay, so you'd write that right there. All right. Where would choose be? The word choose. CHOOSC. Choose. Repeat it. Choose.
I think.
What does choose sound like?
Ooh.
Choose. Where do you think it would be?
On OO.
And if you look, sometimes the words that need to be decoded already have the double O's or YOO, okay? So like this one, it has OO. So that one's a little bit easier. Okay, so now without reading any sentences here, what words can you come up with that you would be able to decode? Words that you use. Go ahead and pick it up. That go in the ooh or the you. Which words do you think that we can come up with? So for ooh, let's think of a word that we use ooh. Okay, so tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Let's think of a word that we would use while we're at the dinner table. Maybe if you're having a conversation with a family member and you would want to use a word. Let's say let me give you a better example. They're asking you to eat something that you don't like. What's a word you can use that saying, I don't want to eat that?
No.
It starts with the no. Let's try to use decoding words that we can decode. What's another word for no that starts with the R? I'm gonna write it down and you try to say that. Refuse. So you see how it says that it has a ooze? Refuse. So what would you say? Let's say they're telling you, Lionel, you need to eat these green beans and you don't like green beans. Do they say that tomorrow? What would you say? I
refuse to eat green beans.
Yes, good job. So what does refuse mean, in other words?
To like not eat or not to do something.
Not to do something. Something you don't want to do. You refuse to do it. So refuse would be in the ooh or the you?
I think OO.
OO? Why do you think OO?
Because you could hear the ooh.
Let me see, repeat the word.
Refuse.
Right, and it's not like use. OO. So where would we put refuse? Okay, so put refuse there. Okay, so do you kind of understand what decoding means and how it can be used anywhere and how you use it every day?
Yeah.
So it's done when you wake up in the morning and you have conversations, when you're at school, on the playground, in the cafeteria. So maybe when you're outside, you can ask yourself, oh, how can this word be decoded? So do you think you could finish the worksheet now with that little bit of help? And then if you need any help, you're just going to go ahead and ask me, okay? Okay, go ahead and start them.